Okay.
All right, what's up, everybody? So I'm here with someone who's actually had a job they like. And now, why is that important? Because most people have shitty jobs. And I love that because I've never had a job in my life, and I like to make fun of all my friends who I said that getting a job was stupid.
Yeah.
However, Kunal Das, right? What's up? So we used to be old college roommates, and I'm almost 30 now, and of all the people I know who graduated from college, there's like one person I know who actually enjoys his job and likes it and gets paid a lot of money, gets to do whatever he wants. And so where do you work?
I work at Microsoft.
Now, why do you work at Microsoft? Like, did you just randomly select Microsoft? Is that the only job you applied to, or what?
No, when I was applying to jobs, I was in this exploratory phase. You know, I wanted to be an iBanker, right? Because I studied finance at UT, and everybody wants to be an iBanker, right? They want to chase the big dollars on Wall Street.
I did.
You know, I wanted a $200,000 salary.
So why didn't you do that?
Let's do it. I actually got through a lot of final round interviews at these iBanks, and I went to go visit these companies. So when I got there, I saw the working conditions that these people were kind of working under, 80-hour work weeks. I saw the people that I would be having to work with and spend most of my life with, and I didn't want to become that person, and I didn't want to put in.
What did you not like about them?
Of,
what do you mean? Like they were stupid people, or what?
No, incredibly sharp people.
So then why wouldn't you want to work with those kind of people?
I didn't want to become that. I didn't want to become the iBanker personality who's stressed out, on edge all the time. You know, might wear $3,000 suits, but doesn't have any free time to go rock climbing with his friends.
So the thing is, here's the genius in that. It probably doesn't seem genius to you, but you actually went and saw like what you would become in a few years. Right? So I did the same thing. I wanted to be an iBanker, and then we had this university group that used to pull a lot of iBankers and get them to speak, and we'd be like, yeah, so how is it? And they'd be like, oh my God, like they almost couldn't lie through their teeth because their lives sucked.
Yeah.
And they all had student debt that they were trying to pay off, and what they did tell you, and which they kind of slowly revealed to us, was that they'll say you're going to get $200,000 a year. You actually get $60,000 a year plus a big fucking bonus.
Right.
So what happens is you're living off like a pittance, especially if you're in New York City or something. You get credit card debt and you have to pay it off, and you have to have that little carrot on a stick, and if you don't do a good job and work your ass off, you don't get it.
Right.
So your trick was that you actually went to the companies and talked to people, right?
Yeah, talked to people, observed their work environment, talked to my friends who were iBankers, and just really found out what's the day-to-day, not the job description, that's on paper, but what's the day-to-day life of an investment banker.
So what were your requirements for like a job? Like, what did you want to do?
Yeah, I wanted something that was going to challenge me, utilize my natural talents. I wanted to be surrounded by smart people that I could learn from. And I wanted to work at a company that had, you know, good values and a strong position in the marketplace to really compete in whatever line of business that they were in.
That sounds like a lot of buzzwords, dude.
That's what I was looking for. I mean, I might have been in college, but I knew what I wanted.
So according to a dumb guy like me, the way you break it down is you wanted to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but that wasn't the only thing. Like, you actually wanted to have time. That's why you didn't want to only be an iBanker. So you also, I know you love to travel. That was like one of your things. Like, your job would send you to travel around and everything. So you're probably the person I know that travels the most. But you get to go to cool places.
Right.
Most of the people I know that travel for their jobs go to like bumfuck Ohio or something like that. How come you get to go to like Miami and all this kind of like all these cool places, not shitty places?
Yeah, because of my role, I'm a product evangelist for being the search engine. So because of my role and where I am now, I speak at a lot of industry conferences. So there's conferences in Tampa, there's conferences in Toronto, San Francisco, New York, Atlanta, Dallas,
cool places,
Austin. Yeah, so I'm kind of all over the charts. And so I'll go where the conferences are, and we engage with a lot of big companies and advertising agencies. So mostly those advertising agencies are in big cities like New York, Chicago, San Francisco.
Cool, so you specifically kind of sought that kind of stuff out in the beginning. Now here's an interesting thing. How did you apply for jobs? Did you just do the shitty, like, here's my resume kind of thing? Or did you do any extra research other than that?
No, so through school they have this job portal, so you submit your resume to lots of different companies, and so lots of students get interviews that way.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I networked actually for this job. One of my...
Yeah, something most people don't do.
Yeah. Out of the 8 or whatever offers I got out of school...
8 offers?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
2 of them actually came from networking. And Microsoft was one that came from networking. One of my buddies worked at Microsoft. I asked him about the company, whether he liked it, what he did, the work environment, and I liked the things he had to say. So then I started researching job openings there. And once I saw something that kind of fit, I asked him to submit a referral for me. What do you know, like 2 weeks later, I was talking to a recruiter.
So this isn't fucking rocket science or anything over here.
No.
But it's crazy because like of all the people we know, and at least all the people I know that have jobs, most of them do not like it. Or they say like, it's tolerable, but I don't want to do it for the rest of my life, which means they kind of hate it, but are justifying it because they need money.
Yeah.
Right? Why is that? Do you have any idea? Like, you've probably seen it with a lot of your friends too.
Yeah.
Why do you think what do you think that is?
I think a lot of people don't take ownership of their jobs. I feel like when they get hired for a position, they want to do exactly what's on that job description. I took the opposite approach. When I found this job and this position, this opportunity, I said, okay, this is a job description. This is the core of what we need to be doing. But as soon as I got there, on day one, I started analyzing the business. How can we be more efficient? What can we do better? What's the competition doing? What are some ideas that I can bring to this business? And then I would make the business case and I would run with it. Once you pitch a couple of business ideas to your managers, your leadership, and they start working, it's much more easier to do that year after year after year. So now I'm in a position where I've got this experience, I've proven myself, I've worked really hard, put in some long hours, had some successes. It's much easier to do business, and now I kind of shape my job around what I want to do or what we need to be doing. But that's not easy to do for a new hire. It took 3 or 4 years to get into this.
Now, so it's not always been rosy. There was a point, so you work for Bing now.
Yeah.
But Bing was kind of recently formed, right?
Right.
And so you originally worked for Microsoft Advertising, and then Yahoo, yada yada, some merger happened, and your group was eliminated, right?
Yeah.
Now, how come you were still working for Microsoft? Why is that?
I think during that time where there's a lot of ambiguity, so we had this merger.
But here's my question. How come you weren't fired? Why was everyone else but you and 6 other people out of God knows how many hundreds or whatever?
Yeah.
How come they're gone and you're not?
I think the people that we hired for our team, they've proven themselves year after year. So we all had great reviews. They were leaders. They were well networked within the company, and people knew who we were. So when someone asked, hey, who's the guy that knows everything about Bing? Who's the person that knows everything about Ad Center? Who's really great with clients? There's only 5 or 6 people that kind of fired on all cylinders, and that's kind of where we built our core team. And I think that's why I wasn't fired or laid off, and they kind of moved me or created this role.
On kind of a different note, I remember a guy in college, you knew him too, I forgot his name, but he read Microsoft Excel for Dummies at AMD, and he was the only guy who knew how to use Microsoft Excel for all sorts of stupid little things.
Yeah.
And so when everyone was fired, they were like, no, he's our tech guy. And they would not let him go, even though he's like, I'm not a tech guy, I just read the book for dummies.
Yeah.
But you made yourself indispensable,
Absolutely.
all that kind of stuff. You actually took some risk and kind of proposed plans and all that kind of stuff. All right, so you have a great job, you get to do all this cool stuff, and you at some point, if you ever leave, you'll have a good network of people, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But so let's say there's some 18-year-old or something, and he's in college, and he's going to graduate soon. He's going to do the typical bullshit that every college student does.
Yeah.
Is I got a resume, let me put a suit on, and go to these depressing business conferences. Although the girls look hot there, nothing really productive goes on for most people. What would you suggest to them?
For someone who's graduating college, I'd really ask them to do kind of an inventory. What are your key talents and strengths that no one else has? What makes you different? Okay, make a list of that. What do you want to do? Okay, what type of job is going to make you happy today? And then where do you want to be 3 years from now? And then try to find jobs that are going to set you up for success today, but also set you up for what you want to be doing 3 years from now, whether you want to be a manager, start your own company, move into a different industry, and kind of find jobs that are going to align your key unique strengths to things that you can do today that are going to help you build your skills for tomorrow.
Oh, what if they don't know what they want to do necessarily? There's a ton of fucking people, even in the business school, that didn't know what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
I think the way to do that is go actually talk to people who are excited about their jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah, talk to people that are excited about their job, but also talk to people that hate their jobs. And ask them why.
That's actually a good recommendation. Very good recommendation.
Right? Why are you so pissed off every day? Why don't you want to go to work? Why do you want to quit? And then figure out what are the behaviors and types of jobs that are causing these people to hate their jobs, and don't do that.
Some of our, we have a lot of friends that are doctors, lawyers, everything, dentists, and some of them really like their jobs.
Right.
Some of them really, really hate them.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to ask, actually both sides. Yeah, that's actually good. I was just going to say talk to the good people, but the bad ones are the ones that are just oh my god, I would never want to do that.
Yeah.
Cool. So I thought that's some pretty cool advice. It's not rocket science or anything.
Yeah, it's simple stuff.
You just did a little bit more than most people, and yet you rose so much further along, which is crazy. I can't believe in all the years I've met people with jobs, almost no one except a few engineers I know actually like their jobs.
Yeah,
that's insane.
I think one of the key things that I would tell a new hire for these 18-year-olds that are looking for jobs is as you're going through your job search and when you eventually get a job, don't think about time management. Think about focus management. Focus on the things that are going to give you the highest return, give you the most bang for your buck, the most return for the amount of time you put into it. Because so many people waste time answering emails they don't need to, worrying about shit they don't need to worry about, searching and interviewing for jobs that they don't even want. So focus on the things that you really want, that you're really good at, that's really going to make an impact, and you're going to be successful.
Wait, so here's another thing. It's fair to say you're a naturally charismatic guy. Like, you've always been like that, right?
Try to be.
Well, you have. And so I think a lot of people aren't. So
Right.
I see a lot of people, and it's funny when you see them on interviews going for a tour of a company or something, they're all like wearing suits all stiff and like, oh, they're all like yes men and stuff.
Yeah.
Did you, I'm actually curious, I don't know this, did you actually dissent with people? Did you ever get in arguments? Were you likable with everyone? Did you get, I mean, like, how did that work? That
In the
whole
interview
social
process or when I started?
Primarily in the beginning. Like, were you just like a yes man?
No, I wasn't actually.
Or did you actually argue with people and make them respect you? That's what I want to know.
Well, I argued with people. I pissed some people off. I argued with more people. I want some respect. So early on in my career, I was actually figuring out, because I'm an entrepreneur like you. I had a couple of businesses. I had employees that worked for me. I was the boss. Now I'm moving into a huge corporation where I'm not the boss. I actually have a lot of people that I report to. So when I started my first job, I actually caused a lot of friction because I asked the hard questions. You know, I was kind of hard to manage because I was so independent. So yeah, I mean, I pissed off a lot of people. I got some people angry, but you know, over time you win respect and you learn how to work with people. Whatever the culture of your company is, you'll figure that out over time. Every company is different. I just had that 6 months to 9 months of starting at this new company, figuring things out. But you got to push some buttons. You got to take risks sometimes, and that's the only way you're going to succeed.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear. I was hoping you didn't say like, "Oh, I was nice to everyone."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, fuck that." No, that's good. So that's it. Just like, oh wait, one more thing. Negotiating salaries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now you had what'd you say, 8 job offers or something retarded like that? That's like having 8 girls chasing after you and like having to pick only one, and like you could play off the others, which sounds horrible, but with the job it's not that bad, right?
Yeah, having multiple job offers is definitely leverage. You know, if you have one job offer, how are you going to say, well, I'm actually worth this much more in this market, or this much in this industry, or this much in this city? Having those multiple job offers in different industries and different cities really gave me a good sense for what I was worth. And so when I was accepting this job in New York, I had a good sense for what I was worth in the market, and I just asked for it. And I got it.
And you weren't bluffing either. You were just like, look, they'll pay me this much over here. So unless you could do that better, then
yeah, you know, you got to do your research on the market, you know, salary conversions for cost of living. But the best thing is to have a counteroffer. Then you really know your worth, and you know, you have a little bit of leverage.
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons I became an entrepreneur instead of ever getting a job was because I got to talk to family friends of ours who are older, and they were like, I was like so fascinated with the business school and stuff, which I wanted to go into, and they were like, oh my God, you realize you have to be like an accountant, you get a marketing degree, which means nothing, or what's the other one, finance, which is you have to be a finance person. Right. You have to like be involved in that lifestyle, and most likely you're just going to be an Excel monkey.
Most likely.
Yeah, most jobs with fancy like analyst or something like that.
Yeah.
Forgive me, analyst. No, don't forgive me. Fuck you. You are an Excel monkey sometimes. Like that's what it becomes, and it's gonna be the rest of your fucking life. And so it makes sense that in college you kind of like put a little bit more effort in, and you can get so much more out in the end.
Yeah.
Cool. I think this is valuable information. Cool. Thanks, man.
No problem, baby.